And we're gonna go in the exploration journey, mostly for YouTube alone because space is not a big problem. Just listen. This was 2 hours. It started 2 hours and 3 minutes ago because I just stopped this video, which means 3:45 a.m. Georgia, excuse me. Thing is, I wasn't awake 2 hours and 3 minutes ago. Extraordinary, right? Every night they wake me up around 3 a.m. I don't think last night. I know, maybe it was. Guys, we're gonna figure it out in a second. I don't think I was. Yep. No, presumably I wasn't. As I said, because by the time I went to sleep it was already 1 something a.m., which I didn't expect to be realistic. So that was the normal time. I passed out and woke up a couple hours later, or 1 hour or so later. You have the second one. Lots of narcotics in here as well. That's not what I went to here to explore. This is, you might know this as they specifically targeting chip video number X. I don't know which one. We're gonna compare and see. And I'm gonna showcase the irregularities in the audio and how they manufacture. As of recently, you will witness the it's an opportunity. As
meaning, essentially, all the issue is, and the only time when I even be mildly concerned for chip is the nights, which means that nothing has changed as far as to being in more danger, presumably or not. Period. No, not presumably. Period.
It's an interesting one. Pay attention to how you can listen. Everything is normal. Audio is normal. Everything is fine, right? Almost. It's very interesting because by then I was walking around.
Just close to the face. Faces to blame directly for if
no? Not quite. It was doing something underneath.
And other than shit catching and disease.
You can check in the charger.
So, and this goes to YouTube, the same place you get to see her, there's excuses and all the other things and all the other crimes that did to her, as well as to all the other backup priors.
You're gonna get faces that can be directly tied up to some of the other crimes you see. Because at this point, as I said before, between this and the evidence for the rest of the year and such, is not as concerned to show what's happening or not. Although to be fair, person should shoot in the face that they think that they can just make things up. As we witnessed yesterday, and so on and so forth. Particularly because of those criminals around what they did to her. And you're gonna see the face of those criminals now. Apart from that, you're going to... Because... based on nothing but their own actions, they now can be directly tied up. And this is criminally, in the sense that live up to the criminal standard that I usually say to other crimes. So, in my brain now, this is paradise from just the case or even passive dealing with criminals to being able to actively prove things about some of the more hideous parts of the crime. For instance, right now they are throwing something in the air on us, irritation drugs, as of now. Maybe that's what caused the baby to walk away a minute ago. I won't be able to tell you. But I can tell you is some macabre crimes, which I'm not going to describe to you here, part for that reason. But suffice to say, some macabre crimes where they seem to be communicating with me. Note that I have no headphones or anything of this sort. And it's also a testimony to something else, which is the mess that this is. So I just want you to pay attention to one thing. Remember that they did yesterday to our home? this. Like, this wasn't collapsed, the roof wasn't collapsed. None of this was a thing. And when I talk about roof collapse, this is how much. No, the issue is, as you see that, how it keeps collapsing ever more, because the issue is there. The thing is, this is ship material, it's a ship material, in fact, and it usually needs reinforcement, which is why I usually pick up those boards. Actually, give me a second. Can I pick them up from here and pass them through? I think I can. Either way, they did this to our home. That's what they came here to do. All probably to mess with the things, but they're too stupid for that. Presumably. Maybe that was just the purpose. I think with a mind of a normal person, right? So, in my brain, this is, that's what the goal would be, because the goal, they grant something. Maybe the goal was just to destroy the thing we sleep at. Can comment on a couple other things, but suffice to say, they would know all the times when the things that they throw in the air are effective, right? More so than you by a long shot. So if you're thinking something, know that they would know that much as a precise data instead of just some ponderance that you probably have it. Also note that the audio, as I said, very important. Also, apart from that, note that a couple days ago, when you got to compare the audio that I'm talking with the audio there. In this one, you're gonna compare something even better than this. You're gonna compare the audio in the same video, in the same place, with no major change in background, because this is almost 11 p.m. There is absolutely nothing happening there as of great volumes of people passing around me. Nothing did should change from this to what you listen later. And by the time when you heard my voice down, my head down, I was looking backwards into this pillar here to check if there was charge being done on the other devices. So if you think my mouth is facing away, you'll remember the other day when you saw someone passing right aside from me, and you hear the voice just louder than mine, because that voice is a real voice, and my voice is being artificially tampered with. Which is why, another reason I mentioned before, YouTube's not the best method for that. It handles that you can see what you can see, and they can definitely not edit those videos after they are on YouTube. But and for that, between the person talking next to you and the passing next to me, and what you can see on the same video. So again, this is the audio in this part of this thing. This is the right response. Remember I mentioned in the episode that they do? Yeah, they also take into consideration other things. Now again, this is the victim of an abuse crime of 4 years talking and reporting their own abuse. When did you often see on television or any other place the victim of abuse being reporting that crime being systematically used to enhance such crime that is on YouTube with complete impunity? On YouTube. It takes one person. So when was the last time you witnessed something like this? And for those, now we're gonna have faces directly associated with this type of thing in an irrefutable and non-reversible way. Oh yeah, but wait for that. And the intention for this was to do some type of cruelty to either me or her or any of those other animals. So just as a cherry on top to make very clear.
Being that future stuff's going to be different sugar list. Oh, so all those are sequential. They never get deleted. So check the sequence of the names. It's the previous name plus one. Just simple, right? All those are sequential. Just preserve it safe.
Okay.
Future stuff.
So apparently I was still listening to all talking. Usually if I'm talking, and I definitely talking that, I pause the video, which is why I just said gonna go to show how much I... No, you see that already, I don't need to explain that. In the previous one, particularly the one, as I said, of the female passes next to me, there was nothing being listened to. And you can see the tempering.
And being that future stuff's going to be different sugar list. Oh, so all those are sequential. They never get deleted. So check the sequence of the names.
I remember next time to not talk with the thing going, not because of the thing, which is usually my concern, but also because my voice will be more tempered by them, because they think that's an excuse. Oh yeah, I can testify that they used to be listening to me properly. Even now, you can still understand what I'm saying. That I'm barely understanding what I'm saying, but this again is on YouTube. When properly sound edited, you clearly be able to understand each word that I say. Or at least identify that it is so tempered with that it becomes unintelligible. Be advised, as I said, it is part of the idea to do those things in such a way as to make them look seemingly. As I said, if you know what the best example of the comparison between here and Shit Country, it will be precisely this. While here you still see complete lawlessness, where they go out of the way to harm someone very publicly, not just in public, but knowing it's going to be published on YouTube. In Shit Country, they will just not add the extra step to make sure it looks seemingly at all. It will be just very explicit. So, major difference. Not explicit in the way, it's just that.
But I'm telling you, I never delete anything. So, for where we are. Is one of those many phases.
You still get to the part you got to listen to the female. Also, how sedated I was with drugs there. This has been me staying in public non-stop since I left the bathroom. Even in the bathroom, there was some documentary on the other phone, and I'm almost showing that to you, but I'm not. Because I said, those faces are not just about what they think they're trying to do. Those faces are going to be associated with the crime as a whole, particularly this type of crime, with the drugs and then the other things. So just to make sure that they don't bravely try to bitch away. And in the process, showcase that everything that they would do, they do at their own actions. And unlike me, they are not drugged, they're not abused, they're not any of that. They're just wanting to destroy the life of one person because they find it funny. I will choose not to any of the other excessive proofs. We're just gonna do a couple things. Leave it at that. Just know one thing, I mentioned the macabre crime scene tonight. It boils down to the fact that waking up, I had some weird in my head. And I want to point out again, first off, what did they throw home? Oh, it doesn't look like much? Well, because you're not seeing what I am actually seeing. I'm seeing several holes over there where I can see the sky. I suppose it's going to come very clearly before the morning, which is the reason I'm not fixing. No, it's not the reason. It's one of the reasons I'm not fixing that. One of them. Okay. Apart from that, I'm gonna do a series about the... Oh yeah, and in the back is not much bad at all. Quite to the contrary, in fact, as a matter of fact, much of the wind coming to me is coming from the back. I'm trying to move very little, but they are throwing the best drugs on me. If you know what the pest drugs are the things that they throw in the air. This one I'm quite sure is a narcotic byproduct, because originally this thing wasn't heavily used by them. It just started being when they realized that. So it was not used systematically. I'm gonna have to excuse me because of issue. So what